Have you ever really stopped to think about what happens the second you take a bite of food? It's way more than just tasting something good. It's actually the start of this incredible mechanical journey. So today, we're going to follow that single bite and break down the pretty amazing process of physical digestion, one step at a time.
Okay, so first things first. Before we get into all the cool stuff like crushing and churning, we need to be on the same page. What exactly are we talking about when we say physical digestion?
So the real key here is that last little phrase, without chemical change. Think of it this way. If you take a piece of paper and rip it into 100 tiny pieces, it's still paper, right? You haven't changed what it is. That is exactly what your body is doing with food at this stage. It's all a mechanical process of just making things smaller to get them ready for what's coming next.
So, our journey kicks off in the most obvious place, the mouth. But your mouth isn't just an entry point. It's actually equipped with this highly specialized set of tools, all designed for one purpose. And I am, of course, talking about your teeth.
Just take a look at this. This is basically your own personal dental toolkit. And you can see right away, you don't just have one kind of tooth. You have 4 totally distinct types. Notice their different shapes, their different positions. You've got the sharp ones up front and the big, broad ones in the back. And believe me, that's no accident. Every single one is specialized for a very specific task.
And this table here, it just lays it all out perfectly. You can really see this specialization in action. Right up front, you've got your incisors. They're like little chisels for biting off a piece of apple. Then you have the canines, which are a bit more pointed for tearing. And then, in the back, that's where the heavy machinery is. The premolars and molars, with all their little points, or cusps. Their job is just to crush and grind food into a paste. It's literally like a little production line right there in your mouth.
So, we've seen the whole toolkit, but what makes each one of these tools so incredibly strong? I mean, how do they do their job so well for so long? To get that, we need to zoom in, way in, and actually look at the anatomy of one single tooth.
And here it is, a cross-section. A tooth isn't just one solid piece of bone. As you can see here, it's made of these distinct layers. There's a super hard outer shell, a softer middle layer, and a living, breathing core right in the center. Every single layer plays a vital role in making your teeth so tough.
So let's see how these layers work together. That outer enamel, that is the hero of the story. It is one of the hardest substances in your entire body, and its only job is to protect the softer dentine underneath. Inside all of that is the pulp, which is like the tooth's life support system. It's got the nerves and blood vessels. And the whole thing is held in place by cement, which acts like, cement, locking the tooth right into your jaw.
Okay, so once your teeth have done their job, the food gets swallowed. But hold on, because the physical breakdown is far from over. The journey just continues down into the stomach, where a whole new kind of mechanical force is about to take over.
I want you to think of your stomach as this powerful, muscular cement mixer. Seriously, its walls are just constantly contracting and relaxing, churning and squeezing the food, mixing it all up with gastric juices. This process takes that paste from your mouth and turns it into a liquid, continuing that mechanical breakdown.
Now, chewing and churning works great for most things, but fats are tricky. They just don't like to mix with the watery stuff in your digestive system. Just think about oil and vinegar in a salad dressing, right? So to handle this problem, your body has a secret weapon. It's a process called emulsification.
This diagram shows you exactly what's happening. See on the left, you've got this one big droplet of fat. Not a lot of surface area there. But then bile salts show up, and they act kind of like dish soap on a greasy pan. They smash that big globule into thousands of tiny little droplets, and the result, which you can see on the right, is a massive, massive increase in the total surface area.
And here is a fantastic way to think about it. It's that same idea we started with. It's another mechanical process. You're not chemically changing the fat, you're just taking a big clump of it and breaking it down into much smaller, much more manageable pieces.
So we've gone through chewing, grinding, churning, emulsifying. But why? Why does your body go to all this mechanical trouble? What is the ultimate point of all this work?
This is it. This is the whole reason. The single most important goal of physical digestion, whether it's a molar grinding a carrot or bile breaking up fat, is always the same. Create the absolute largest surface area possible for that bite of food.
So why is that huge surface area so important? Because physical digestion is really just stage 1. It's all just prep work.
By breaking the food down into millions of tiny little pieces, it makes the next stage, chemical digestion, so much more efficient. It gives all those chemical enzymes maximum access to get in there and do their job. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? We've seen how food is mechanically smashed and ground into the smallest pieces possible. But like we said, this is all just setting the stage. So what happens next when the chemicals finally take over? Well, that's a story for another time.